So what are Noobs with general disturbance? This is the GW Panther, the Tier 7 German SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Murovanka and it's under the command of talon1958. And yes, this is his only submission this week. He really hasn't had an opportunity to get on the computer that much. Plus, of course, he's been learning how to use the new technique to aim. Game on. Yes, it does take a little while to learn how to do it, but once you actually picked it up, it can be tremendously useful in battle because it means that you aim in on the enemy far quicker than somebody who has to scroll out the mouse each time to get the howitzer to line up with the target. This way you can look at one end of the battlefield and then immediately look at the other end very, very quickly indeed. Just need to press down the control button, put the mouse cursor over the mini-map where you want to look, and then he's doing that right now. And he's done it! Look at that! He's done it straight away! He's gone to the centre of the map. He was looking to the west, and all of a sudden he's looking to the north, and he didn't have to scroll out at all. So, yep, he's got it. He knows how to do it. Now this can be tremendously useful, I can tell you, in battle. So many times it's helpful. He's dialed in, rounds out. Yes! Direct hit on the M10. He went like that. He popped up on a ridgeline and then gets smacked in the face by an Arty shell. 236 is a non-penetrating shot because these shells will do 600 alpha and they penetrate through 39mm of armor. And you can see that Talon's only carrying standard HE. Now watch this. He'll go straight to where he wants to look. Does it. Press the control key down. Minimap. Yep, got it. He's got it. He's learned how to do it. He can now look exactly where he wants, anywhere on the battlefield. All he has to do is hold that control key down on the left-hand side of the keyboard. Then move his cursor over the minimap and right-click on the mouse, and there you go, it goes straight to the target. And he's now looking at a Scorpion, rounds out. Oh, he got another hit, and the Scorpion goes down and he picks up the stunner system. I think he saw the tracer coming out of that bush for the enemy Arty. There's three of them. The enemy team's got a GW Panther, an M44, and a Fifi. Okay, he's lined up in the village because there's a KV2 there. Rounds out. Nice one! Splashes the KV2. Now the good thing about this technique is you don't have to use it every time you want to scroll out or look at a target. Sometimes the target happens to be fairly close to where you are already aiming, and it can take you can quickly scroll out with the mouse, no problem at all. But it is so much quicker when you want to look at a long way away because it saves you having to scroll. And look at this. Oh, before he gets a chance to fire there, the KV2 goes down to fire from our EBR Hotchkiss, who was scurrying around him. And there's a target there. There's an AFK on the map, and he now fires at it. And the enemy Arty's been spotted. It's one of them anyway, the GW Panther. He's in the middle of reload, but this guy is definitely going to go down. There's no doubt about that. The P43 Biz has got him. Now, there's another one in these bushes over here, and he's marking it for the P43 to let him know. And in the meantime, he's going to stun the OI, or at least try and hit him. And that will provide him with assist. Oh, well, we saw Tracer coming out of the woods at the back here. So it looks to me like the enemy's got a tank behind there. Somewhere. Yep. Oh, it's the M44. We're almost loaded. I wonder if we're going to get a shot on this guy. Oh, no, he dies too quickly. The OI experimental took him. Another Arty's been spotted. Yes, he was in the wood. There you go. He's loaded, but he's not fully dialed in. He fires just as the M10 gets the kill. The M10 gets stunned in the process, but he can't complain about that because after all, the target was spotted and he hadn't died by the time that Talon fired. Okay, we're going for an M445 who seems to be AFK in the Magic Wood. Nice direct hit for 269. He's stunned. He's about to die. And there's some more stun assists. That means there's only... No, that's it. They've done it. They've killed them all. Well, that was a very brief game indeed because, yeah, it was a very good game in terms of for Talon's team. They just literally carved their way through the enemy. It was the third-class tanker for talon1958 in the GW Panther, and that matches what Angelina managed to get. Also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, I think it says 3 there, but obviously I think he must have had more than 3. But he also got a win rate of 1,120. But sadly, I don't think that's enough to beat Angelina. If we look at Angelina's last score, yeah, she got 1,744, which is very good, which means Angelina is still in the lead. But it doesn't mean it's over yet. The weekend lie-in is tomorrow morning. And so Talon's still got more than a few hours to put in another possible replay that will be actually over Angelina's score, but I wouldn't put it past Angelina to get an ace tanker to make it final straight away. But anyway, it was a really good game because it shows that Talon has mastered the skill of actually re-aiming using that technique, which is much faster than doing anything else. But even though his team was performing magnificently, he still got a large amount of damage. Let's have a look at team score. Well, there you go. That's a proof there that he did get a large amount of damage because he got the second highest damage in the game. The Dickermax got 1,408, but he didn't get enough to get a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. Talon got the second highest damage with 1,015, the only other player to get over 1,000 base. And the third highest damage went to the EBR Hotchkiss with 956. Talon would have scored a lot higher on damage, but for the fact that his team was so good, they were killing the enemy tanks off before he even got a chance to shoot out. When it came to kills, it was the EBR Hotchkiss who did the best. He got 3 kills, the T150 got 3, 2 kills went to the Dickermax, and both M10 RBFMs. Talon didn't get any kills at all, but again, that would have helped him if he was going for the Confederate, and we'll see how close he was to a Confederate. We can see that on the enemy team, only 3 tanks actually managed to get kills at all in that game, and one of them was the Arty. When it came to base XP, he's a little further up the table because he's in 5th place. The top scorer was the Dickermax with 720, 685 went to the IKB 103, and 678 went to the EBR Hotchkiss, the one that was troubling the KB2. Well, it was actually worrying. It's almost like a dog worrying the sheep. He was just kept on buzzing around that KB2, and eventually he got him. And we can see that Talon came in 5th with 623 base experience points. He only fired 7 rounds in the entire game, but they were good shots. He got 3 direct hits on the enemy and 0 penetration, so he was hitting the target on these tanks. He also got 6 splashes on the enemy as well, 1,015 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 5 of the enemy, killed 0, so he was very close to getting a Confederate out of that game. He would have got it if he'd managed to hit one more tank. If he'd actually hit that M44 or the enemy Fifi just before they died, then he would have ended up with 6 and 0, and that would have given him a Confederate. 795 hit points of stun assist off 5 stuns, so yes, he was getting stunned, but mostly it's because the enemy was spotting, or his own team was spotting the enemy, and he was putting the shell in as quickly as he could, but before the enemy died, they took a lot of damage, and so unfortunately Talon didn't pick up as much stun assist as he could have, but that's only because his teammates were just too quick. 29,273 credits for the battle, 65,000 for completing a mission, 94,273 altogether. And after ammunition resupply, he still took away 86,433 credits profit, 934 XP for the battle, times 2 for the first victory, 1,869 experience points altogether. So pretty good game actually, I'd say. the best thing about that battle was to see that Talon has picked up the technique, and that will definitely improve his game over the time, because I can promise you, if you don't have to keep scrolling out each time you're having to re-aim at the enemy, it saves you a huge amount of time, maybe about 3 to 5 seconds, somewhere in that ballpark. And if you can save just that small amount of time every game, it's time that you can use to dial in on the target and get a nice hit. And I promise you, it does have a dramatic effect on your ability to fight the battle, especially when you have to re-aim to a completely different part of the battlefield. Then you can quickly hold down that control key, move the cursor over the minimap where you want it to go, and right click, and bang, there you are, looking at the enemy tank straight away. And at the start of a battle as well, it does make a difference, because you're looking at the target or where you think the enemy's going to appear right away as well, and that gives you the chance to dial in before they turn up, and possibly put a shell in and hit one of them whilst they're still spotting. And that can be quite funny as well, especially if it's to blow up the bush, the spotting bush on Murovanka, and then find out that there was somebody in there at the time and they died as a result. So well done to Talon for learning a new technique. Yes, you can teach a dog, an old dog, new tricks, definitely. And I'm not calling him an old dog, but you know what I mean. He's learning, he's actually getting it, and that's going to make him all the more formidable, because remember, Angelina knows this technique as well, and she's twice as deadly. Yep, so if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.